Hi everyone and welcome back. We are here with Natalie Gleitman from Natalie's Cuisine here in her kitchen where she's going to be teaching us how to make Oriental bulgur salad.
Yes, exactly. Hi. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm very excited that we're going to make the salad today because it's a very special salad because it has so many interesting ingredients combined together, making it very, very flavorsome and also very interesting. And the idea came from like basically Israel. You have a lot of herbs here, you have a lot of dried fruit here, everything's super fresh. So it's gonna be a very easy salad. We're just gonna cook the bulgur. You can also use quinoa instead to make it gluten-free. And then we're just gonna mix in all the rest of the ingredients, and then we're already finished with a perfect salad for every season, basically.
Sounds great. Okay, so where do we start? What's step one?
Yes, so the first step is that we're gonna cook the bulgur. I'm gonna take here about 65 grams, which is enough for 1 to 2 people, depends how hungry you are, or if it's a side dish, or if it's your lunch. And then we're gonna cook it in like about double amount of hot water. Basically, you will see like the water will be absorbed, and then either you will need some more if the bulgur is not done yet, or it kind of depends a little bit also on the stove how quickly the water is being absorbed. So I already pre-cooked the water. I always use water already cooked from the kettle just because it saves so much time. Yeah. So we're gonna take like about 120, 130, something like that.
Perfect.
Put it on the stove and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, and in the meantime we can chop up all the vegetables. So it's perfect actually.
Let's do it.
So the next step is to chop some macadamia nuts. We're now gonna put some dried apricots into this. We're gonna chop it also quite fine, not too small though, because it's not a mash.
Right.
And then what's really important about dried fruit is that they don't contain any additives, they don't contain any sulfites, especially for people with histamine intolerance, which is what I also have. You don't want to have any additives because it can cause like migraines or
basically the more pure and the more like not touched organic everything.
Usually the organic ones are without any additives and sulfites, and I can really recommend it just because it tastes fresher. You don't want anything else than the fruit itself in your dish. So now I'm gonna I have here mint, I have here parsley, you can also add coriander. The more herbs the better basically. I'm obsessed with adding herbs. It's such an Israeli thing to use like mint into your dishes.
Greens, mint in salads,
amazing.
for sure.
You can like take them off the stem a little bit.
Thank you.
And then just
chop them up.
Chop them up, exactly. Now we're just gonna add the bulgur into this bowl of fresh ingredients, and then we're actually already done. It's still a little bit warm, but it doesn't matter because we still have time to cool it off. And also, once we add the sauce, I recommend letting it sit. Exactly, sit a little bit to really soak up the fresh lemon and the olive oil to get like all the flavors out. It's really, really good. So now I'm just adding some pomegranates. I'm obsessed with pomegranates.
Me too.
Such a great
addition to anything.
To any dish. And then I'm gonna take a little glass to mix up the sauce. What we're gonna do is we take like half a lemon, squeeze it. I don't have any
arm muscle.
Also, I don't use like any complicated kitchen appliances.
Yes.
We're gonna add some cinnamon, which is the special part about this dressing actually.
And it's gonna add different.
Yeah, and you won't really taste it, but it just gives like a different kind of layer of flavoring to it.
Right.
Also, if you feel like, oh, it's like too crazy for me, then leave it out, but I really recommend it. Using some olive oil. Olive oil really, it's so worth investing money here.
Right.
because it just has so many vitamins if you take like one that is high quality. So I really recommend getting one
that's worth it.
Exactly, because you use it all the time.
All the time. Well, you should be using it because you should be seasoning it with
exactly. And then we're already finished.
Wow.
You have a delicious salad, so like basically the perfect lunch because you have some carbs in there, you have some nuts in there, you have a lot of vitamins in there, super healthy. You can just carry it with you, put it in a little box.
Right.
And then you have like a flavorsome, nourishing lunch on the go basically with lots of flavor, never gets boring.
I'm gonna try
this now. Let's see what you think. It's like very fresh, right? Like
you just took the words out of my mouth. Very fresh. Hi everyone and welcome back. We are here with Natalie Gleitman from Natalie Cuisine, standing in her kitchen where she's going to be teaching us how to make
raw energy balls.
Yes, okay, what's the first step?
What's great about this is that it can be a snack, it can be a dessert. We're just gonna throw some ingredients together. We don't need an oven, we don't need any complicated kitchen appliances. We're gonna put everything in the fridge. It's gonna firm up for half an hour. We're gonna roll it into balls and then we can enjoy them already.
So mix it, half an hour wait, and we're good.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
What's also great about it is that it's vegan, it's gluten-free, it's kosher, it's lactose-free. It's like everything free what you can be free from.
But delicious.
Delicious. But really, this is absolutely my latest obsession. I make this all the time because even when I'm on the run, when I have busy days, I still get time to do that. And I have like snacks for the whole week. So I really recommend doing it. It's so not worth spending money on these expensive granola bars that are full of additives, sugar and carbs, and just make your own snack. It's just really worth it.
And super simple, clearly.
Yes, super simple.
What are we doing here?
120 gram of oats.
Okay.
That's it. Whoopsie. Here, this is like one of the only recipes that I'm quite like
picky
about the amounts. Usually I say that it doesn't matter if it's like few grams more or less, but here like when I bake I'm quite picky just because then the consistency doesn't fit anymore.
Right.
So you really want like this firm consistency to be able to roll it into balls. Then you're gonna add here 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. We're gonna chop up some of this vegan white chocolate. It's super delicious and it's all vegan. You can get it in basically every organic shop here in Israel. Also, actually, I buy the same one in the US or in Europe. Like, for some reason, this is following me, so I'm eating it up all the time. So
we're gonna show me how to do this?
Yeah, so you're just gonna chop it up. Exactly, just like the smaller the better, so it doesn't that you have the flavor but you don't have the big chunks. To make it easy to roll it later. And in the meantime I'm just gonna add some vanilla powder.
Now you could do this with dark chocolate, you could do this with milk chocolate.
Yes, you can do it with any kind of chocolate. I just chose white vegan chocolate just because when you have histamine intolerance, you don't digest any dark cacao very well. So the lighter, the easier to digest, even though I know it's like more sugary in terms of sugar content. I'm gonna add some goji berries for like the extra superfood ingredient. Like about 10 grams, like not a lot, just to get like 1 goji into every ball, more or less, basically. Yes. So we have the oats, we have this. Like first, I'm always gonna put in all the dry ingredients.
So this is a replacement for buying all of those granola bars, for all those chewy bars that you bring on the go that cost a lot for just the box.
They're being sold for such a premium price, and it's so not worth it because you can buy all these ingredients for less money even and make so much more out of it. So we're just gonna add like 75 grams of maple syrup, which is gonna glue everything together basically. And it's also vegan, which is nice, and it adds the sweetness. So there we go. And then we're gonna add some almond butter, which is also such an amazing thing to use. Yeah. It's also basically the liquid ingredients are basically our glue for this dish. And it has so many good ingredients that you don't have to feel guilty about eating more than 1 or 2 or 3. Like, to be honest with you, I have to make this like every 2 days because
you just keep eating them?
I just keep eating them.
Okay, well this is like a nice midnight snack.
Yes, it's a
midday, midnight.
It's anytime. It's like full of superfoods, such an energy boost. Exactly. It's also great before you go to the gym or after the gym when you need like a pick-me-up. Like, it's also.
Does it motivate you to go to the gym also? Especially after all these delicious dishes. This is a problem, people.
I believe really in balance. I think it's really important to find the balance. I don't put calories in my dishes because it's not about the calories. It's about like eating healthy, feeling good, and you will see that this won't make you have more cravings. If you eat 1 chocolate bar, you want another because your sugar level is so unbalanced that you just crave more food after an hour. So with these, you find like a nice balance. It's all natural sweetened, so your sugar level doesn't peak high and then falls low. And it's just a great snack. So you just have to find the balance of when are you full, you know? And I think with healthy food, you can really understand see that more because this fills you up. Like after 2 or 3, you won't need anymore.
And you won't want
and
it.
You're satisfied. You don't need more sugar. So I just like press that down into the bowl a little bit so it can now nicely firm up in the fridge for about like 20 minutes, half an hour. And then we're gonna roll it into balls.
Yay. Okay, so these cool down.
Yes, these firmed up very, very nicely. So now we're just gonna take all of it, like kind of like half a tablespoon, and then we're just gonna roll them into balls. You can make the balls as big as you want. The idea is to store them in the fridge or keep them in the freezer if you like them a little bit more crunchy. You can take them to work in a box though because they are quite soft.
Right.
And I would just store them in the fridge to keep it like firm. It's just a perfect everyday recipe. They're vegan, they're full of superfoods, they're gluten-free, they're lactose-free, they're histamine-free,
There's
they're
no
kosher.
excuse, basically.
Exactly, there's no excuse. It's good for everybody, and I swear even your kids will love those.
Yeah.
It is a little messy, but nothing that water cannot
get rid of.
Exactly.
We did it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're now back in Ortal's kitchen. Thank you so much for having us once again.
My pleasure once again.
Last week we enjoyed some delicious Moroccan fish, and just by eating it I felt like I was back at home on my Friday night meals. And we also enjoyed a very healthy salad, super simple to make. So Ortal, what do you have for us today on the menu?
So today I have pea soup. Okay. The main ingredients are onion, 1 onion, a few pieces of carrot that I've peeled and chopped, and a few pieces of garlic cloves, and the dry peas grain.
So first step is what?
First step, we are going to cut the onion. We're going to peel it, clean it, and chop it into big.
Peel it, clean it, and chop it.
Chop it.
Oh, you're chopping it into big pieces?
Yes, because at the end we're going to blend everything. Okay. We're going to put all the ingredients in a pot and we're going to blend it. Put some olive oil. Just make sure it's all over the pot.
Mix it all around.
Mix it all around. Put onions in there, inside, and the garlic. And we're going to heat it up.
So the carrots do not go into the mix yet?
Not yet. It needs to be soft. We need to make the onion and the garlic a bit soft.
We're already starting to smell the onion and the garlic.
That's right. You can hear the oil bubbling.
Yep, you can hear it sizzling.
Sizzling, and soon we have to keep stir it so it doesn't get burnt. And the onions needs to be a little bit transparent. That's how you know it's ready. So a little bit more. You can turn the fire down a little bit. Now I know it's ready. we are putting the carrots in and the peas. I'm gonna put a few, 3 cups of water.
So this soup seems very simple. What do you usually serve it with?
Well, you can serve it with croutons. So we're gonna chop some bread.
Okay. Does it matter what kind of bread? You could use any bread?
Any bread.
Whole wheat?
You can even use yesterday's bread. It's nice.
Okay.
An old bread. And then we put olive oil, garlic.
Oh, you don't use garlic powder? Garlic powder is for the lazy people.
Fresh garlic.
Now your fingers are gonna smell like garlic for days.
Yeah, but there's a trick for that. I'm sure a lot of people know about that trick.
What is it?
You rinse your hands using a metal, even a knife, metal knife or anything underneath the
And it completely
water.
takes away the smell?
Completely takes
Really?
away the smell. And off to the oven.
So how long does it need to be in the oven for? A few minutes?
Until it starts to be golden brown. 180 or 200. And that's it. And we're going to check on it.
So now it looks like the soup is boiling.
So if the soup is boiling, we're going to turn it down. Okay. And we're going to wait until the peas are soft. And once it's soft, we can use the blender. It takes about an hour for it to be ready.
Our second item on the menu is going to be pasta, salmon. Why don't you explain what you're going to make?
Okay, so we're going to make pasta with peas and cream cheese and other cheeses like yellow cheese and Parmesan cheese. So it's going to be pasta, cheese, salmon,
So
and
we're going
peas.
for an Italian dish.
Exactly. The Jewish version of the salmon, smoked salmon. So first of all, we need pasta. I like to use spaghetti because my kids prefer spaghetti. But you can use any pasta, penne, fusilli, any pasta. We need cream. We need peas. We need smoked salmon. And we need 2 kinds of cheeses. I like Parmesan cheese and just classic yellow cheese. So let's see if the croutons are ready.
You can smell the garlic and the oil.
Oh, look at the color as well. Nice and ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adds a crunch to the soup.
The first step is actually making the pasta. So let's put the pasta in the pot.
Okay.
It's 100 grams for a dish. So I'm gonna break it now. Break it and put it in. The water is already boiled. Grab a fork and just move it around.
So they don't get stuck to each other.
Exactly.
Are you adding olive oil?
A little bit of olive oil so it doesn't get stuck together. So the next step is the sauce. I'm gonna put a fair amount of cream. Now the peas.
So this doesn't need to be boiling first or anything? You're
No,
just
not
gonna add
yet.
it?
I like a lot of peas, and this is a lot. The Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna take about this amount of cheese, about this amount, and grate it. Okay, now the other one. The other one I'm not grating because it's pieces. So what I do is I just cut small pieces of it. You can do that.
Okay.
You just put it everywhere. Perfect. Now the smoked salmon, people should use as many as they want, as many as they like. I think for 2 dishes, it's about 1.5 of these sheets.
So you're not adding any spices to this?
No, because the cheese is already salty,
Yeah,
so we don't need
fish.
salt. Yeah. It's ready. It's al dente. I like it like that.
Me too.
We don't rinse it, we just shake it like this.
Okay.
And we're gonna put it back in the pot so all the water will come down. So now we're gonna put everything that we've prepared for the pasta. We're gonna put it on the stove. And we're gonna give it a stir for about 2 minutes. And once that's ready, we can add the pasta in. So now we're gonna add the pasta because the cheese is melted, and we just mix it.
Smells amazing. Looks like it's coming together nicely.
Now it's ready to be plated.
Again, this dish was also pretty simple to make. It only took about, what, 10 minutes?
10 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna blend the soup.
Okay.
Yeah, catch your carrot. And
Oh, let's get the croutons.
look how thick it is. Look, it's pretty thick. A little bit of olive oil on top. Amazing for winter
really
day.
love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, great job on the soup.
Thank you.
Now let's move on. Have some pasta.
Grab everything with the peas.
Got everything in one bite.
Yeah, good. Again, you don't need much salt in here because the smoked salmon is salty.
Okay.
And the cheese.
Okay, Altal, I really enjoyed making these dishes with you. I learned a lot today.
Thank you very much.
We made soup, pasta, all in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna take this home.
Absolutely. I'll wrap it up for you.